Alright, and welcome to the next video of my little series here on putting the stuff I talked about in the Horror 101 series to use in a teaching, capacity, kind of, sort of. This is how to design a horror game. Well, conceptualize a horror game, really. But that's a much longer word to put in a title. And this video is about danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. What is the danger? Because without a bit of danger, at least, or the perception of danger, you're not really going to get much horror. Or terror. Not even creep. Well, you can creep people out, but you're not really going to scare the hell out of them. So, where are we going to put danger in? Well, the ghosts, obviously. It's a haunted mansion. So the danger is going to be from ghosts. Most likely. So basically what I've got here is that 50% of them can only scare the characters. Or they can cause accidents. Because if we do a good physics engine and make it to where falling downstairs and, just generally things that actually would hurt somebody do hurt the characters. We can make it to where 50% of the time the ghosts can't directly hurt them, but they can pop out at times and cause them to have accidents, and they can, we can have kind of that heart attack alert monitor thing going on. I'm not a huge fan of that because I don't think that just staring at a ghost for very long is really going to kill someone. Not unless you're phobic, and people who are phobic about ghosts aren't going to go ghost hunting. So they might be able to startle a character enough to cause something horrible to happen to them, but 50% of the time they're not really going to be directly dangerous. 20% of them will be able to manipulate objects that they can use to attack with, like a table leg. That's kind of a weird example. They'd have to rip the table leg off or unscrew it. A vase or books or whatever, they can manipulate the object and throw it or batter with it. 10% of them will be able to possess other characters that are in the game. Not the main, but other characters, which can lead to lots of interesting scenarios. Not only for danger, but also to build paranoia. Because once one person's been possessed, even if they're not possessed anymore, then you lose trust, which can be fantastic. Just watch The Thing. Paranoia is a great tool in horror. 10% of them will be able to directly harm characters, and 10% of them, the last 10% will be bosses of some description that will have unique characteristics. Okay. And something, again, adding more dynamics to the game, a danger scale slider in the options to allow the people to customize the game a little bit more to their liking. Some people like survival horror. They like being chased and having to hide. They like being in constant danger. That's really what they like about these games. And other people, they want the slow burn. They want to be creeped out. They don't really necessarily want to be chased all the time and in danger. They just want to be spooked. So if you have a danger slider or different settings for the danger level, you can make it to where the ghosts are always dangerous, and the only way to survive, there's other aspects to that, but you can make it to where they're always dangerous, so you need to deal with them, get away from them, something before they can hurt you, or that they're almost never dangerous, they're just there to scare the fuck out of you. Or the default would be in between, some, with the percentages. Some half of them roughly can't really hurt you, they can only really scare you, but if they scare you at the right or wrong time, they can cause you to hurt yourself or have an accident or something. Then the others will have various ways that they can interact with and harm other characters, psychologically or physically. And of course, the psychological problem, with like amnesia kind of taking a, and some of the Lovecraft games, particularly the sanity meter, losing your mind. Well, no, I think amnesia did it more of the heart attack thing, but with Lovecraft, it was those games, it was more the sanity thing. So you could actually have stuff with it, embedded in the game, like how freaked out a character is. If they reach a certain point of being freaked out, it could kill them. And also have a sanity thing that characters can be driven insane by what they're experiencing. If their fear reaches a certain level, it will break them. Okay, you can have that sort of stuff going on embedded in the game, but no visual representation. I'm not a fan of that. It's more scary to the player if they don't know, really. In fact, one of the things about some of the Lovecraft games, there was one of them that the worse your sanity got, the more warped everything else got around you. You could have something like that kind of going on in the background too, to a small degree. I wouldn't want it to be a huge game mechanic, just something kind of subtle that might be going on in the background. So you can do things like that to also add elements of danger to the game. Personal levels of danger. The ghosts themselves don't have to actually harm you. They can just, over time, wear you down and break you. So things like that can also add more danger. Which is, just various ways to make the game, more interesting. Dynamic. I like dynamic. And I think that wraps that topic up pretty well. I don't think there's anything else I want to cover in that one. But again, going back to those elements of horror, why I've made some of these, these ideas here is, again, the paranoia thing with the possession of other characters. That's awesome. If you can make them doubt, you do. Doubt is one of the best tools for fear ever. So if you can make them doubt their own companion characters in the game, they can't trust anybody, then any feeling of security they got from those characters instantly flips to danger. They don't know if they can trust any of these people, so now they have to be aware and paranoid about all of them. Okay, excellent tool for horror. Okay, jump scares usually aren't a big deal. But if you have to be afraid that a jump scare can happen at a time when it could cause you harm by causing you to fall down stairs or just fall over into something and cause physical damage to a character, if you have to be aware of that possibly happening, then suddenly everything that happens takes on meaning. Again, with like the level of the characters, fear, and all the emotions. You put these scales for each character into play in the background, where the player has no awareness of it. They'll know that these functions are in the game, but they won't have any direct knowledge of where on the scale of perfectly calm to about to have a heart attack the character is, except for any kind of symptoms that we put into the game to kind of clue them into it, like an increased heart rate or anything like that, which the heart pounding in the ears would be realistic. Somebody that's kind of on the verge of flipping out and going crazy, we could put some clues in there that might be happening, but it doesn't have to be obvious. You do that sort of stuff, and suddenly every single thing that happens takes on meaning. There's nothing frivolous. There is no pointless jump scare because every single jump scare could potentially harm the character. And, if we would go with, like I said, the freak out scale and the anxiety scale or whatever, for the physical and the mental level of their distress, then literally every single scare that they experience is going to make them worse. They can recover over time, but if they experience too much shit in too rapid a succession, it can flip them off. It could, kill them or flip them over the edge. Send them over the edge, rather. Make them flip out, send them over the edge. So, you do little things like that, and every single thing matters, which is important. And it makes the game way more visceral for the player. They're, especially, like even being in a creepy place could increase anxiety. Not just being in the presence of a ghost. If you actually make it to where if they're already scared, then just being in a scary place is going to make them more scared. It's not going to calm them down just because there isn't any immediate threat. They're going to be afraid of what's going to come next. So you actually are trying to, you put functions in the game to manipulate the characters, and via the characters you manipulate the player. If it's possible. This might be going way beyond what's possible with coding and a small budget, which if I did get a backer, it would have to be a small budget. But that's the whole point of conceptualizing and coming up with ideas. You might not be able to use them all, but at least you've had them. You might be able to use them later. So, that's the point of these videos, is I'm coming up with these ideas and concepts to help you come up with your own, and to teach you. So, I think that really does wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and give me that upvote. Leave your questions, comments, and ideas for other videos that you'd like me to do. Please share the video, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Pinterest, friends, family, whatnot. Anybody you think might be interested in watching it. Forums, blogs, all that good junk. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because that's the only way you'll know when I have new videos go live. The situation I'm in right now, having to live with my uncle because of stuff going on where I was living. You can find out more about that on there's 2 videos I've got up right now that you can watch. That's current or situation update and I need your help. You can watch those and find out more, and if I still need help, you can help out. When you watch this, if by the time you watch this all this has been resolved, then I will have that on the videos, so I don't need any more donations for that. But I am currently asking for donations for that, or I was when I was recording this video. But the situation I'm in right now, I can't really access the internet without asking, and I can't really use my computer without a bit kind of a hoodoo to set the whole thing up again, and then I have to take it back down. So I'm just kind of having to do stuff. It's just more difficult for me to get things accomplished right now. I don't even remember why I started talking about that now. I really wish I hadn't gotten into it. It just kind of throws me off my game to start thinking about it, Crappy situation. But, where was I? Oh, I remember now. I was talking about that because I've been having to schedule when I do make videos and get them up online. I upload a bunch of them at once and schedule them to go live later. So when you watch this, it'll be scheduled, have been uploaded for quite a while, but scheduled to appear down the road. Okay. So, is that anything else? Subscribe, share, questions, comments, upvote, all that good junk. All that's YouTube's covered. YouTube stuff's covered. Yeah, dildos, Metalocalypse, funny show. Um, yeah, that's everything. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.